Oh, the time that I telepathically saw Luciferian Husky dogs, and the person who owned those dogs, like, answered me out loud when I didn't say anything. I just said it in my head. Sure, yeah, I'll tell you about it. A member of our family is in a wheelchair, and as a result, they have people who come help them kind of get ready for the day and get to bed for the evening. And so, sometimes the nurses are the same, sometimes they're different. And this one particular evening, I'm upstairs and I'm sewing, and I hear the doorbell go off at 7 like it always does. And I hear somebody come in. The voice sounds kind of new. That's typical. I wasn't too worried about it. But something else happened. I heard and felt the presence of something gigantic running up the stairs, and then followed by two other things running up the stairs and then looming over me. Being a natural born psychic empath, I have many gifts, and one of them is to be able to see as well as feel, as well as to like smell and touch, like basically all the weird things that people normally can't see or shouldn't be able to see. I instantly knew the very tall thing, it was like 7-8 foot tall, was a hooded figure, and it loomed over me and whispered in my ear all manner of self-destructive things that I haven't thought about since I was in high school. I was like, those are not my thoughts. And I literally out loud said, I have the blood of Jesus over me, you can't touch me, you can't hurt me. And it mentally to me said, maybe not you, but I can F up your sewing machine. And right then my sewing machine jammed. And literally, I've gone through like 4 or 5 sewing machines until recently I have a really old sewing machine. But that's a different story. So I wanted to know what the beep, like what is this thing and who brought it basically. Like I could kind of see what it was, but like who brought it? The other two things that they had with them were something that kind of looks like where the wild things are, but it was jet black. You couldn't see any definition. And the last thing looked like a toddler baby, but like crawling on its hands and knees very fast. And that was actually the worst one for me. Like I did not like that at all. I go down the stairs because I want to see who is this. Plus I needed more water. So as I'm walking down the stairs, I see a new nurse, and she is dressed in all black, and she has 2 husky dogs by her. I can see the dogs clearly, but I know that they're not there because there's no way that a nurse would have brought her dogs with her to work. However, I see them and I think, I guess she has 2 huskies. Out loud, she turns around and says, yeah, I have 2 huskies at home. And then her face goes, because I didn't say anything out loud. She's responding to me saying that in my head. And as soon as she turned and saw me, she was like, she knew what the hell I was. I coolly say, yeah, I can see that. They look like they're really loyal. And she goes, and she doesn't say anything else to me. The nurse kept coming. And every time she would show up, things would go awry. Whatever I'd be working on upstairs would start to like, you know what I mean? I would like spill a little water on something. The machine would jam. Different little things like that. Eventually, I put a protection down at the barrier of the stairs so that her creatures were not allowed upstairs, and that fixed that like no problem. That seemed to tick her off. You might be saying, why are you judging her that she's Luciferian? Oh, her car was covered in like stickers that said she was. So that was not speculation. That was her literally blasting it all over. Do I have anything wrong with Luciferians? No, I don't. I actually have lots of friends who are Luciferian. I am not particularly Luciferian, but I also am polytheist, so I am not under any denomination. I am a free agent. I am as gray as it gets. Like I am, they would call me Shayna the Gray, all right? Like I do not take sides. I kind of am, I do my own thing. Chaotic, I was going to say chaotic neutral. I lean towards chaotic good, but, you know what I mean? I lean towards chaotic good, but I'm definitely chaotic neutral. I had nothing against this woman. I don't care that she practices, and I don't care that she practices on the extreme opposite end of the spectrum towards me. I don't care. Like, I've done some things back in high school. I started off, man, the voodoo dolls I made, I didn't even need hair or clippings or anything. I just made the doll look like the person, and things would happen to the person. So, you know what I mean? Like, if anybody's got a both sides of the fence, it's a Pisces, you know? I understand if anybody does. So I had nothing against her. However, she was so dedicated to her cause that she had something against me, and that's where the problem became. I'll only put up with energetic battles and that kind of BS for so long before I'm like, enough is enough. So eventually, I got tired of it, and I did a thing to where she could not even come into the house. Next thing I know, we got a new nurse. And, you know, that was the end of the story on that. Because basically, I don't play those kind of games. But, it was just an interesting experience. End of the day, I don't know really what started the beef. I just know the second that those entities that were with her, that were her guardian spirits, ran up the stairs, they were meaning me harm. So that could be because I work predominantly light, or that could be, you know, any number of reasons. She didn't know me, so there's no reason for them to come attack me on a personal level, but I'm just not going to take it, you know what I mean? I'm just not going to have that. I actually have, well, not with me, but at that house, there was one of those where the wild things are looking like things too, but mine was in color. I wasn't the only one to see it. Many nurses had seen it, and some of my friends had seen it, and that's when I was like, okay, it's real. So if you want to hear the story about that, I will tell you, I don't know what it was. I have no idea. It's just something that lived in the house. That was my my in-laws' house, so that was an interesting house. There was a lot that went on there. I had one of my nurses who was my favorite. She would tell me that when we weren't home, she could hear stuff like running back and forth upstairs and moving our furniture. And I'm like, I believe it, because I hear it when I'm there, and it's just me, and stuff will be happening in the other room, or the TV will turn on, or all number of things. So anyways, love you guys. Bye.